Understanding unification, where it comes from, it's unity of consciousness. What does that mean when I say unity? Unity of one, unity together. Trying to understand where our soul identifies us. So about yesterday, I was traveling there to 1.5 million years, vector unit core system to calculation. Triangle forces to connection. I was changing computer operation centers to the air flotation system. So it was interesting to have the flotation device on its phone. I couldn't be present because it's extremely high rise through vibration. And the position allows me to see through connections of future and what I need to do to the Earth rotation system. So the gravity system is on location positions. But now what's happening in position as the Earth is kind of like fighting its own self. Okay, which means that humanity is fighting themselves more within themselves, which means that the fighting forces of them, of light and dark, positive and negative, okay, is in position right now. Okay, there's a lot of people on TikTok that are basically, they don't know what's going on anymore. They totally lost their mind. And basically, that's exactly what's happening to the Earth. The Earth has to come back and out of the virus because the three-dimensional system is not set through computer operation center positions anymore. Fourth widening cycle of its tunnel of light is no longer in position. Everybody's got to start doing their shadow work. And what I mean by shadow work, you really, really, really have to concentrate how to keep yourself balanced within yourself every single day with your thoughts of travel through its activation of lights. It's now for everybody to understand these things. Okay, you can just heal yourself, not heal your body. Just heal yourself just with your mind. Calm your mind, calm your center, take your fear out, take the anxiety. Because what that's doing, every time you put a negative system out there, you're giving what they want. Okay, so the Earth is trying to understand communication more with humanity in the fifth dimensional system. Now, I've changed the shapes, I've changed the vibration, I've changed the activation light system. It's up to humanity to bring back the forces within. So you have to fight yourself. You really have to fight your thoughts of yourself. You have to put yourself in the presence here and now. The time capacitors and the motion sensors are setting to location positions into 0.01 traction position. You guys are now into the simulation Earth. You're birthing the system of a new shape. You're birthing a new system of a new symbol. You're birthing a new system of a new activation, and you're birthing a new system into the angelic realms. Okay? So basically, like I said, yesterday was extremely powerful, right? Some days it'll be like that. It means that I can't travel to this position to back to the fifth dimensional system. If I'm 1.5 million years in the future, my mind conceptual system, even though my body frame is in position, but my mind and everything is going through calculation. It's going through a mindset division. It's going through a new calibration. It's going to a new reset division, to a new location, to a new position. Okay, so when I'm traveling to that far distance, to that condition, I'm changing everything to the Earth through vibrational system. Okay, so I'm going to draw out a map, 6 level system. I'll tell you exactly. You have to force rise your system forward or go 3 systems back. Okay, so it's understanding. You got to ask yourself: do you want to go forward in life, or do you want to go back in life? Do you want to repeat the cycle? Do you want to go back on that karma wheel? Right? If you go back on the karma wheel, it's like getting on a bike, but reversing the cycles, reversing the pedals. You want to do that? It's next to impossible, because you know what? Even though you're looking forward and you're looking back, you're going to crash into everything through connections. So you got to open the mind system. You got to fight yourself within, especially with the light workers that are channeling through locations. They're going to be tested extremely high rise through the dark energy force light system. Their connections in their vibrational system and their channel operation centers are centering the positions right now. All light facilitators that are channeling its operation system are going to be extremely tested in the atmosphere. Okay? So I'm just getting everybody to be prepared. All right? You have to truly understand how to do these things, especially with the force team. That's why I want to put you guys into higher formation of light. You guys have to understand how powerful it is, what light is. If you try to understand communications of your thoughts, try to understand the communications all levels when it comes into your forming system of your heart, your channeling positions of your heart, okay, your operation cycles of your heart, your communication cycles of your heart, okay, your light communications through your programs of your heart, okay, everything is your heart of thought, time of travel through position. So you got to fight yourself more and more each day, okay? So don't give the benefit of the doubt through connection to them, okay, when I say them, I mean you. You, in retrospect, have to say that there is a separation until you found the full cycle, because you have your life and you have your death cycle. So the death cycle has to understand your life positions. What's the point of all this if you don't understand life and death? You can't separate life and death. That's like separating your thoughts. Okay? So for example, if you're in position, okay, and you want to go into that condition, all right? But before we get into that, thank you all subscribers and viewers, anybody who's watching my channel. Horse rising, grand rising, 2 conditions. So basically, you can go through my healing. You can go through my PayPal of healing. I can open up your attractions more than ever now, because everybody is getting into a higher position of test, a test evaluation of you, your inner system of vibration, how to communicate with yourself, fully communicate with yourself, and stop fighting yourself within. Follow your steps of recognition of time positions, of travel positions, of your thoughts into the presence of its position. Okay, so basically it's like this. Okay, for example, basically, now my nickname is Drew, right? So let's just go with Drew. Now this is Drew. Okay, now first thing I look at the travel positions, right? Everything's aligned. There's a line cross here, but that's okay, as long as it's all connected. As long as it's all connected, right? So if you separate the name, what happens? Okay, what happens if you separate the name? Right? If you separate it, you got to work with the DR and you got to work with the EW, right? So this is basically you start off with the positive and you start off with the negative. So the Drew has to come back together, so it's Drew, right? So think of it that way. So you're using your thoughts as separation. Don't do that. Don't separate your thoughts of travel, okay? Because you're always going to be fighting the forces within yourself. And you're going to ask yourself every single time, why do I have an anxiety? Why am I stressed? Why do I feel suicide? There's a lot of things that are happening right now with all humanity, okay? Stop looking at projections outside and focus within. Perceptions of inside you. Use your communication through vibration. Don't separate your name. Don't separate your thoughts, okay? It's mostly important. As soon as you separate it, you're separating everything, and you're giving them the benefit of the doubt, okay, to everything, right? This is all forces of you. Everything that's put out there is false. False, 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 false. You think it's real because everybody else thinks it's real, right? The falsity system is allowing you to defeat the purpose of what's going on with this calculation to your computer operation system. So it's kind of like you're forcing the forces within yourself, understanding you're forcing connections of 2 computers. You got the positive computer and you got the negative computer, and they still have to understand each other, okay? Through thoughts or anything through your name. Don't separate your name. Don't separate your thoughts, okay? Because you're never ever going to arrive into the lights. You're never going to be able to take your name out, okay? So I'm just trying to get that point across, because there's a lot of things that are happening right now, and I'm a little being a bit more firm with everybody, because you can understand that you are putting yourself in that position and things are changing. Okay, so everything that's given to you is false. Everything that is for you is real. You are real. You know you're real. You're acting upon real with your thoughts of recognition. Stop focusing on everything else through perception, what you see, through the outskirts, the atmospheres, or anything. The focusing of the thoughts gives in everything through connection. Don't separate your name. Don't separate your thoughts. Don't separate anything through your lights of activation. Your lights have to truly understand who you are, okay? Because it modifies and integrates everything through your connections, especially when you cross over and you get your wings, right? Because it's all about being brave. It's all about being strong. It's all about being loved. It's all about being activated. It's all about being the power. I have the power. I am the power. I am, I am, I am, I am. Everything out there is fake, 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 fake. Everything inside me is real, 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 real. Okay, so stop concentrating on all that stuff and focus on yourself. So, Tina, Priscilla, Sylvia, how's it going, everybody? Yes, a magical Monday. Yeah, so I want to get into the test. If you guys have any questions or comments, you can go through my healing. basically, especially for the new viewers, because they're going to be going through a test too. Even though you don't feel activated, but the whole idea is to understand that you can activate yourself, but not heal the chakra system. See, the thing is too, is that you can't heal anybody until you understand the God of yourself, the light of yourself, the angelics. You have to understand the research of the angelics. You have to understand the differentials of systems when it comes into archangels and angels. They're extremely, extremely real. Because think about it. You pass over. What happens? Angels, archangels come to you, right? Before you die. Okay? So it opens up a portal. Okay? When my mom passed away in the hospital, it's the last breath that you perceive through yourself, and everything else functions, and then basically everything starts to, change, right? So when the soul goes up, there's a realm, and there's angels that are around it, and you go through it. The soul goes through the portal goes through a hole, the hole goes through a tunnel, the tunnel goes right to the family. That's what happens. Okay? So you have to live and die to understand everything through its condition and what happens with life and death cycle. You can't separate life and you can't separate death. Okay? So right now, humanity is in the fifth dimensional system fighting for their life because they understand their life, but they have no idea what death is. Right? So everything that's projected is giving you death, is giving you fear, is giving you anxiety, is giving you stress. Don't listen to it. Don't observe it. Right? Only observe what you have inside you. You are the power. You are the connection. You are the light. You are the force within and the force without. That's the only way everybody can move forward. Right? So everybody's being through a test right now. Everybody's in a test of life and death. That's what's happening right now in this position. The Earth is basically in a new location. It's in a new simulation. It's in a new shape, and it's in its diamond core position, a fifth dimensional system to its telepathy system. 1.5 million years traction location of 0.01. Tracks and positions to everything through simulation of its creation. Okay? So that's why I gave you guys that floating phone yesterday. I try to be creative as much as I can. But see, the thing is, you have to realize that you are a reality of yourself. You're a creation of your reality. But think of this. You're in the spiritual reality. You can create anything you want. If you're in the physical reality and you don't know yourself from Adam, you can't create anything through manifestation. Because you're allowing yourself to defeat yourself with the universe system. Okay? You have to see the force within yourself to understand yourself, the inner self, the inner child of yourself. The interconnection of yourself. Everything is inner. Okay, it's not outer. Okay, that has been going on for decades. So if you believe something, what are you going to do? You're going to believe it, or are you going to focus on yourself? Okay, you are aware of everything. You are the abundance of everything. You are the surrender to everything. Okay, especially when it comes into your thoughts through your life and your death cycle. You can't separate your life and you can't separate the death because it's one system. It's one calculation. It's one modification. It's one circle. It's one rotation. It's one center position to the heart. Okay, so if you separate your connections to your traveling positions, right, you're splitting the heart. The heart has to mend. Okay, and then it forms and it travels. And it goes out of its equation to its dimensions, of its portal, its activation, its codes. So the spiritual system is extremely real. It no longer becomes a believing system because you crossed over to that condition. So you lived, died, and reborn again, right? So it's all about you getting your wings. Once you get your wings, right, then you start giving back. Then you start healing others. So you have to truly understand the reference. You have to go to the schooling of what an angel is. What does an angel do? What does an archangel do? Okay, what is Archangel Michael to me? What is Archangel Gabriel? What is Jophiel? What is Rogue? What is Medikit? What is Metatron? Okay. What is Ariel? What's Heniel? What's Azrael? Azrith, King Archangel Azrith, right? So the golden plate allows you to see the system of yourself through the angelics. You cross over through its connection, right? And you get a gold plate with your name, right? But you have to truly understand all the definitions of angels and archangels. Because believe it or not, when you pass, this is where it becomes the real system of you through calculation. And your reality, you can create anything because you're in the spiritual system. And that's why it's magical. Not just a magical Monday, but a magical of 7 days a week. All right. So, and I noticed too, because I'm on TikTok and there's a lot of people that need to be healed. A lot of people don't understand what's going on. And it keeps saying that over and over because they're not realizing that's what's happening to them is that connecting to its earth of its vibration. It's affecting. So it's kind of like it's an infectious virus that's just basically, it's a plague. It's cornerstones to your body and it's activating. It's got all these ticks and you get all this nervous system and you don't know what to do, right? From yin and yang. Okay, so you're not connecting. You're separating yourself through your life and your death cycle. So everybody's being tested now. Okay, through the life, because now everybody in the humanity is in survivor mode. Everybody's in that. Okay, so, and we all have to be cautious on how we see things through our perceptions now and what we listen to, okay, what we pay attention to. You have to be aware of your intelligence. Okay, everything that you do, everything you eat, everything you see, everything you taste. Okay, so, and the thing is too, is that this fear just keeps growing and growing and growing because humanity starts believing in it. Stop believing in these things. Everything that's given to you, propaganda, social, all that stuff. Okay, the realism is you standing right in front of you. And to only truly understand the truth of everything is to be in that spiritual of everything. Okay? That's the only way anybody can understand anything. Okay? Because you're putting yourself in that position and basically you're defrauding the systems of you. You don't want to defraud your computers. That's like putting a flash drive in there, right? And it's burnt. What happens? It's corrupt. It goes there, right? So you're giving something that you truly, truly don't want in your system. Okay. So it's like a bad taste in your mouth. Blech. Right. Take it out. All right. So these are the options that you have, right, through calculation. It's pretty simplified. Okay. It's so simplified. You guys look at complicated because all you look at is everything outside and you stop looking within. Eyes of the beholder. Truth of knowledge, heart of existence, love of activation, love of all connection, unity of consciousness, unity of one, unity of Ra, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Those are all codes. But what you have to understand, everything that is happening to you is extremely real. It's all about you understanding your spiritual self and how to put yourself in a better position of life and death. Those are the positions you're put in right now. You're being tested, okay, with its earth. Okay. Now, everything that's happened in the past, okay, you have to understand that you are connecting to its past, present, and its future by understanding the relation of its presence to understand how you can move forward with yourself and stop worrying about everything outside. Okay? Because that puts you in a dilemma. That puts you in a soap opera. And now you're in a triangle location of a soap opera. You're dealing with this, you're dealing with that, but you're not dealing with yourself. You've totally forgot about yourself. Don't forget about yourself. You know what you need to do. People are going to give you a helping hand, right? But when you cross over and you get your wings, it's up to you to give back. That's what an angel is. Archangels are protection to everything through light, extremely powerful through energy, but you have to understand their energy. Okay, you have to understand what they do with their energy. You have to understand what they do with their swords. You have to understand what they do with its magic through its connections. You can create anything you want in the spiritual system because your spiritual system truly understands the communication to a wizard, okay, to a potion, to a dragon, to anything. You can create anything you want and it becomes extremely magical, okay, to the physical system because now you're communicating with the earth. Now you're communicating with the powers and everything through its atmospheres of you, of your thoughts. Okay? Thoughts are everything through creation, right? Especially when you're in the spiritual, okay, of its realm. Okay? So anyway, we'll go into that connections and I'll show you exactly what it is through positions. So it's very simple. Okay? Now, what we're going to show you here, just give you a practical level how important it is to understand these things. All right, central line system to its location. Okay. It's in position here. 3 kinetics modification cycle position. Okay, so here's 2 Earths. Okay, which one do you want to be on? Do you want to be on the one that goes on the 4th cycle, or do you want to be on the back cycle? Because if you go on the back cycle, you're going to go through its connection, right? So you're doing everything in the opposite instead of doing everything in the positive. Okay, so if you put yourself in that position, okay, which you don't want to do, okay, because what's it going to do is it's going to put you back on the karma wheels. And believe me, you don't want to do that. Okay? So basically, this has separation until it understands each other. Right? Now you understand this is one planet, but to you, it's 2 planets. So you're separating the Earth. So you're splitting the Earth in half. Okay? Some people don't understand that through connections. So if you split the Earth in half, this is what you get through calculation. Right, so you got to mend the wounds. You got to gravinite that condition. So you're splitting the Earth. It starts with that. Okay. So if it splits the Earth, what happens? This is going to go over here, right? So what's happening? The dark forces within inside your body system is winning. Okay. So what happens if it keeps going back in connections? It's going to go into new particle shift. Okay. This is what's going to happen. So now it's creating its own anomaly. It's creating its own time position of thoughts. Because remember, you're fighting yourself, right? So that's where it starts. From here to here, right? So what happens with that? Uh-oh. What's going to happen? This will disappear. And then you're in a real big problem. Okay, because now you're creating something dark inside you. So you have to truly understand what your system is of the soul. The soul is identifying everything through its connection of you, right? So that's the Earth. This is what you're creating. You're creating a whole new anomaly in the dark system of dark matter. Okay? So you're creating a whole new dark civilization in your mind system of thoughts through its negative system of its heart, and everything through its program setting of its mind, and everything through the brainwaves, and everything through your conceptions of your soul identifying. Because your soul's not identifying you anymore, and you have separation, okay, of an anxiety where you come into life and death. Okay? So this is exactly what happens if you do this to the Earth. Now, everybody's in a different point of view through a different perception, but you have to truly understand how powerful it is to see things like this. Okay? So you don't want to have separation with the Earth, do you? That's the last thing you want. Okay? So, if that keeps going, and it gets its 4th winning cycle through its positions, through its connection, okay, it's going to make its own particle system. Okay. Now it's got the full Earth. Now this is all connected to because you're creating its own self, right? Through connection through space anomaly, right? So you've created your own dark realm, your own dark vision, dark location. You created your own dark thoughts through proactive cycle. This is going to disappear, right? So the Earth is no longer in position. You erased it out. And now you're living the dark system through its inner system of its body, through its soul identification. It's gone. right? No more Earth, right? This is a new connection. So now this is on the opposite side, right? So what's it do? It creates this dark force. Now, when it creates this dark force, it doesn't go back, it goes forward. This is where it gets really interesting. So as the Earth is no longer created through you, you forget the Earth. This is what happens to your light system through a vibrational system, and then lights go through connections. So you go forthrighting cycle through its position, and you just go through line communication cycles. All right, it just goes faster and faster, like this, and it creates its own rotation. When it creates its own rotation, it creates its own energy fields. It creates its own plasma force. It protects all its lights, and it creates its own dark entity force line communication signals to a new dark computer system. Okay, so you just created a computer in the dark system. Okay? Just giving you examples how powerful it is and what you're creating, right? So now you have no longer the positive system of the Earth. You have no positive light. You have no positive anything through activation. You have no positive anything through calculation of thoughts, right? So your thoughts have traveled over, okay, to the spiritual side, okay? Now, when you wake up, you're trying to understand your soul identification between light and dark, positive and negative, going forward, going back, okay? The universe wants to flow with you, not against you. You are only putting yourself in that position, nobody else. So you're creating a dark anomaly of a planet position. The Earth isn't there anymore. What are you going to do? Right? This is the understanding what I have to do to heal people, because they put themselves in a computer. So I have to change the computer. I have to change the rotation of its connection, the plasmas, and change the particle system of the planet position, change their negative rotation back into the body activation light system, and put back the Earth rotation to its connection. So it's all about coming back into the light of its position, right? So if you do that through calculation, everything goes back over, right? So it's jumping back into the positive cycle. So you change that position, okay? This is something to look forward to, guys, all right? So it comes back in position, full rotation, extremely fast location because it's going through healing, okay? So you're coming into a new connection of a new ground, of a new position, of a new light, to a new light activation light system through calculation, green circling location, forestry division, water connections, line signal practice system through its calculation modification, right? So from this to this, right? After you have this in full rotation, back into where it's supposed to be through its thoughts and its recognition, you're back on the Earth planes, this disappears. Okay? So it's all about creating and discreating. You know, you're dissolving things. You're taking out the viruses and all that out of you, right? So everything is wipe screen. Okay? So it's like you guys, your memories were erased. Okay? And that's all done through your thoughts. Okay? It's all done through your thoughts of connection. So truly understanding that and how powerful it is to travel your mind through your thoughts, you have to be cautious on what you create. Okay? Because you can have the Earth with you or it can have the Earth against you. Those are the two options you guys have. Okay? So you don't want to put yourself in those positions. Okay? That's the last thing that you want to do when you think through calculation. Because it's going to upset the cycles. It's going to change the rotation system. It's going to change the universe. Remember, everybody's connected to the universe. Everybody's connected to the vortex of the universe. Everybody's connected to the cosmos. Everybody's connected to all connections when it comes to the galaxies. You're all connected, right? So the more you understand the connection of the Earth, right, you want to protect the Earth. Okay, you don't want to destroy the Earth, because if you're destroying the Earth, you're destroying which is most precious to you, is your life system. Okay, your lifespan. your light connection, your light activation. You want to keep the flicker of the light on, not off. Okay? Until you understand your body system, you're going to be going, light goes on and off, on and off, on and off, on and off. You're going to get dizzy, rotation cycles, and everything to the light and dark is going to change your perception of light signals. It's going to change your body. It's going to change your algorithm. It's going to change your program setting, and it's going to change your holographic system and your communications to its program setting, to its modification of its radiation of its sun, and everything of its program setting of the moon. Okay? And you'll be no longer surfing in your thoughts of recognition of time positions. Okay, because all you're doing is flicking the light back on and off. That's what you do. You have a light here and you're flickering. What happens to the light? You're going to blow the circuits. Right? You don't want to do that. Right? You want to keep the light on, not the light off. You can't see anything with the light off. It's dark. I can't see. Right? So it's trying to understand what you have inside your system. It's a soul. Okay, it has the light of you and it has the dark of you. The light tunnel and it has the dark shadow. Okay, you have to truly understanding what you're seeing. You're going to bring yourself forward through connections. All right. So, and this is all done, through yourself, education. So it's educating yourself through proactive cycles to that position. Okay, so you want to put yourself in this position and don't put yourself in this position. Okay, because you're creating a dark computer, a dark vibration system of you. So you're creating dark thoughts of you. You just created an anomaly of a sentient that's dark. And it's going to travel all over the world and it's going to create dark, right? All over its earth. You're not communicating with the earth anymore because the earth isn't there. Right? So powerful, guys. Extremely powerful what your thoughts can do. I keep saying that to everybody. Right? These are the positions you got to put yourself in. Truly understand these things, because it gives you everything that you need to know when you come into all practical levels of yourself through connections, because this is putting you in position. And that's where the test of knowledge comes in. How powerful are you through connections? How powerful are you through divisions? How powerful are you through location? Okay? So you want to wipe everything out, destroy everything in your body system of dark. Don't allow yourself to see yourself in the dark light. When you create a dark light, you're creating dark civilization, dark activation, dark color. You're creating a dark hologram system, people. You want it to disappear. Okay? So when it disappears, you start off new. You got a new body system. You're communicating better with the earth rotation. And when the earth rotation is in system, goes through its calculation modification, goes into its own cycle rotation center position, goes in its circle rotation to its center position, to its location. Right? So it's creating a new activation light through your body system. You guys have to understand how you're modified through locations, all right? So you're creating your own energy fields and you're protecting the earth. That's what you got to do, is you got to protect the earth, right? So this is you inside, so you're protecting the earth. Nobody is going to bound or take anything away from me because I'm extremely powerful. I'm extremely high-rise in my thoughts. And this is all connected to the earth, a vibration. You're connecting to everything through its relation of its believing system. So you've gone way beyond the mind system. You're back in the position of the earth, of its rotation, into the fifth dimension. Hooah. All right. All right. So anybody have any questions on that? Yeah, I know. You guys were on yesterday. I said, wait a minute. What is he going to do today? What is Commander going to do today? What is he going to do tomorrow? So I try to make it interesting. But the thing is, too, I couldn't communicate with you guys because I was doing work in space. And I'm traveling so far, so fast, and I was changing shapes of the earth. I was changing computer operations center positions to its earth. I was sending it to a new creation center because the earth is an operation of a space station, right? So I'm setting up new time codes, time frame positions, map locations. I was setting up new matrix line location systems to its tesseract or anything connection, because all humanity is in a position of a new shape. They're coming into a new line of shapes. They're coming into a new line of thoughts, right? So that's why I couldn't be with you guys yesterday, because the vibrations are way too high. 1.5 million years in the future, that's like extremely high vibration. But it's not just vibration, it's everything through connection, right? So it's just not, when you look at it, if I was communicating with you yesterday, it would just, the conceptual would just be a freezing mechanism of time position of space, where you're kind of like the light going on and off. You'd be going extremely fast, extremely fast, and you would have no understanding what's going on, because you would lose your mind or your thoughts, right? So that's how powerful your mind can be. So the mind takes over, becomes its own simulator, right? So the brain becomes its own simulator through its path of its recognition of space and time position, through its lights to its molecular structure light system. So it's understanding how to use your molecule of your atoms to travel to your thought positions, and how to create things through its anomaly of its projection of its positions to its illustration of its diagram program system. Okay? So it's all about keeping you guys in the loop. And you have to know what's going on every day with space and time. So especially now, because the light channelers, or anybody that thinks they're light, if they're not sure, if you want to know where they are, come to me and I'll help you and guide you and put you in a better position, time position, especially if you're a channeler and you don't understand your information. This is where they're all tested. You're going to be tested more, because now you're connected to higher forces of dark entity forces within inside yourself, right? It's the test of knowledge. It's the test of space, and it's the test of time to its earth, right? So everything that we are given is a test, okay? There's no such thing as earth air. There's only humanity air, okay? You guys already know what that means. So don't put yourself in that position. Just put yourself going forward in your own positions, or your clocks and your dimensions of time positions, and then you understand more of what's going on, right? Do you want the universe to go with you or against you? Do you want to communicate with the earth going forward or going backwards? You're putting yourself in your karma wheels. You want to repeat time? Yeah, okay, you go ahead and repeat time, but I guarantee you the earth is going to still keep going forward. So you're missing out, okay? You're missing the plane. You're missing the train. You're missing the bus going by, okay? So nobody is really left behind. It's also a fabrication. But the thing is, too, is your test through life. Life is giving you a test. How powerful you are through your thoughts. How powerful are you to stand up, okay, and do something about it, right? Instead of wallowing in your own pity, you know? You don't want to do that either, okay? Because you're letting yourself. See, the thing is, everything that you're fighting is within you. You're fighting this spiritual force of you, because now you're connecting to your light of interference. And the light and interference is opening up everything through your perceptions, your audios, and everything, your voice, your patterns. Okay? So don't allow yourself to defeat yourself. Okay? So it's kind of like, if you're in the dark system, it's setting up its own computer operations center, and it's telling you what to do. That's the dark. It's inside you. It's trying to fight you within. Okay? So, and it's going to try to keep doing that more and more and more. And that's what everybody's being doing, right? Is being tested. You're all being tested, especially the channelers. The facilitators are going to be tested like you wouldn't believe. Okay? Tested on so many levels. Not just with the heart, but the mind and its thoughts and everything through activation of your soul. Your soul has to identify its reality you're living in. And that's the confusion with a lot of humanity, because they have no idea what's happening with their life or their death cycles anymore. And they just give up. They give up. They don't realize they have a light. They don't realize they have power of light. They don't realize they have activation of light. They don't realize they have a hologram of light. They don't realize the earth is connection to them. Full cycle, full rotation, full system, full activation, okay, full simulation, okay? So I know that I'm freaking out against, again, stupid money and stupid people around me. I just want yeah, I think everybody wants that, Priscilla. But see, the thing is too, is that if you understand history and ancestry of humans, you understand why they're in that position. Because there's no such thing as anything through universal air or anything through galaxy or anything like that. The only air is human air, nobody else. You're only making the mistakes within yourself, nobody else. So everybody has their own connection to what they're dealing with their positive and negative system within themselves. Okay, so now's the time to communicate, right? So it's kind of like, okay, if you have fear and anxiety, try to understand how to take that away. Okay, so a lot of people are going in, okay, well, I have to be activated. Oh, I got to open my chakra system. Oh, I got to understand my third eye, right? So it's next to impossible for anybody to heal somebody, okay, until they understand the spiritual realm, until they understand the angelics, until they understand that they are an angel. They are wings of an angel. They're an archangel, okay? And the thing is, too, is that people come up to you and say, well, prove it. Prove it to me you're an angel. Prove it to me you're an archangel. Because sooner or later, you're going to have to prove it. Because you're saying something to this person. And they need to know what's going on, right? So when you change their body activation, they're not going to question you anymore. I've had people come up to me all the time. They know I'm the real thing. Okay? And this, it all connects to how much spiritualism do you have. It's all about detecting yourself. So you're detecting yourself every single day. You're testing yourself every single day with your thoughts. Do you want to bring yourself forward or do you want to bring yourself back? You go back, you go on the karma wheel. That's what's going to happen. That's what's going to happen with humanity if they decide to do these things. They go back on the karma wheel. It resets, okay? So in illusion, they go back into the connections, the three-dimensional system, but they can't live in that existence because the earth is not on that vibration anymore. Okay? The earth is at a fifth dimensional vibration. Okay? It's in a gamma operation center positions. Okay? Now, there's light and dark in everything. Okay? There's positive and negative in everything. But as long as you get the balance with your abyss, actually look at yourself and see the abyss. If you have to see it through an activation of light, if you have to see it through a dream, if you have to see it through somebody else, okay, that can happen too. I say, whoa, I feel weird. Something just happened. Light went on. What just happened to me, right? So, and this person has to be extremely, extremely high light. So healing is all based on light, okay, because there's all connections of you of light. You're in components and compartments of different light of a rainbow activation. Okay, so the centralized system to calculation, you have your grounds. You have to understand what it is. It's Mother Gaia, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Mother Core, Mother Universe, Mother Pod, Mother Energy, right? That's the ground. That's the earth. Okay, so, and then you have the power within you. Okay, so it's understand the soul is identifying the earth inside you. Really, really understand the earth. See, I'm getting sonar, getting communication signals from this earth, rotation, vibrational system. It's calculating and modifying because every day I wake up, I travel so fast, so far in the future, presence, and past because I have alignment with everything connection. So my molecule structure of light travels to everything position. It's going. That's what it does every single day, 7 days a week. And if there's 8 days in a week, it'd be doing that too, 24/7. I guarantee it, right? So thoughts travel. Thoughts create your reality, okay? Even if you're not activated or you're still in the three-dimensional system, okay? There's not too many people in that. And the thing is, too, is that it's all an illusion. What you're seeing around you is not real. Until you understand the spiritual system, then it's real. Then you realize everything that you're around you is holographic, okay? It's only real on what you perceive. It's only real on what you connect with, okay? So if you watch something and you believe it, right? Let's just say it's a movie and you think it's real. That's going to be projection in your mind. And then you travel it to somebody else and then it goes to somebody else and somebody else. Oh, you see this movie. Is it real? Is it real? Is it real? So how is it real? Somebody put it up, right? And it's also through the mind of somebody else, through their thoughts. So how do you know it's real? They have to prove to you it's real. right? And everything is connected through the mind of the brainwave. So the brain is going through calibration. It's going around, round. So it's going through circles of rotation, cycles, positions, and activating everything. Line communication, change the brainwave locations, change the ergo road systems to its connection line system, change the graphing positions to its line communication line signal, activate everything through the psychic core system. Right, so energy goes in, fix it all up, right, through vibrational signals. So you got the simulation path, you got the proactive system, you got the brainwave path, you got the connections to your connections of your thoughts, the travel positions of thoughts, through its connection to its balance of its positions, and everything through your physical system is now in balance with the spiritual of its higher self, or anything through its avatar, or anything through its energy. As long as you understand we're all based on energy, we live energy every day. It's understanding you are connected to the energy. That is the connection to the spiritual system. Because the spiritual system only understands energy, frequency, vibration. It's not just having the keys to the universe. Okay? It's knowing everything around inside you. That's the keys to the universe. It's mastering the body of you inside. That's the keys to the universe. It's mastering your thoughts of time, position, of space. That's the keys to the universe. It's understanding how to communicate and give back to others and love yourself. That's the keys to the universe. Okay? So you have to understand what you have to do, right, to understand. Like Pandora's box. Whoa, I see the box, but I don't see any key. I don't see any lock. I don't see any door, right? You have to create it to open up, to get out of the Pandora box. Until you don't understand that, you're going to still stay in the matrix. Okay? We all started that with the Matrix 2.0, right? So if you want to create a shape, it's totally up to you, and you do it through your thoughts or activation. So you're manufacturing a light of a matrix or a dark of a matrix location of its connection. So every time you connect to the negative system of your thoughts, you're putting yourself, okay, into low vibration, right? But it's extremely high rise. It's complicated. It's confusing. So now you created something that is so powerful, but it's in the dark of the solar system of you through its calculation. So you created a dark line of a soul identification. Okay? So this soul is going around, it's creating dark community, dark energy, dark vibration, right? Spreading. That's what it's doing, right? So remember, with light, there's dark. You can create light, you can create dark, but you have to know what you're doing. You have to be in the spiritual system. You can't do it in the physical system. Okay, and people are crying out right now because they don't understand their life. Right? Some do and some don't. Some people, they're afraid of dying. What is death? What is death? Death is life. Life is death. It's one cycle, one rotation, one system, one activation. What do you think life and death is? It's no separation. Like I said, you walk in the tunnel. It's the light tunnel. Okay, it's everything to you, through your connections of love. How much love do you have to give back? Okay, so it's understanding the research of you, okay, the details of you, the education of you, the force of you within and without. You have to have the force within to understand the force without. Okay, there's no separation of force within and force without. It's still one rotation. There's no separation with life, just like there's no separation with death. Okay, because you are the only one that puts yourself in that position. You are the only one that separates your thoughts or your names or anything through connection of a community. You're the only one that's separating everything through your dreams. Once you start believing in something, something's going to happen to you. So you're manifesting this, right? And you're looking at, oh, what did I just create? I didn't want to do that, right? So you have to backtrack it. But how do you do that? You have to go back in time position, right? To do these things. So, and you can't change alignments until you get into your molecular structure of your atoms. Your atoms have to recognize everything through its readings of the sun, the radiation, and everything through the moon program, and everything through its connections. All right? Okay, so now I want to get into the 100 chakra rotation center positions. All right, we've done already levels on that through the test. Okay. Okay. One thing I want to give everybody is truly understand. Remember I was telling you about this is the sun, this is the moon, this is what it does every single day, light and dark. dark and light. Well, to really understand, why is it that we have a moon that looks like this through calculation? Okay, so let's just say this is the moon. And the moon is all coloration, 2 variation cycles to its position. So it has its own Schumann resonance through its human being vibrational system. So it calculates and modifies. So let's say you got a wind cycle and location position here. Okay, so let's go into white graphing positions. Okay, so say it's like this. Okay, now you have to understand what's going on here. All right, everybody sees that. Okay, and you have to understand why you see a half moon. Well, remember I told you about the sun and everything, the position of them never separates. It never separates. It can't. It has to stay in position. The sun and the moon are always in position. It is always in circle rotation center position. All right. So it's kind of like a windmill that's going around and it's reflecting to the earth. The sun is reflecting its time zone through its position on where you live. Okay, I'm in Mexico, right? So the sun is very hot, right? So it changes its program setting to its condition of its human behavior on this moon. So you understand that this here, when you see a half moon like this, okay, you understand that the sun is in front of it. Ooh, powerful. I wanted to give you guys this. You want to understand why it's a half moon. It's the sun covering the moon at night. So relation of the sun and the moon is everything through the digital frame. It's a computer operated center to its position of its Earth. So the Earth of the gravity system changes location of night and changes the communications of day. So it sets positions, and that's how you get a half moon. So if you ever see a half moon at night, the sun is covering it. So it's kind of like the sun is the sun and this is the moon, right? So the sun is covering the moon through collaboration. It has friendship, relation, and partnership with its connection, right? So just wanted to show you that. So when you see something like this, see this, you have to understand what you see through perception, okay? You have to see what you want to see through perception. It's covering everything. So the more you see through perception, the more you see plasma through connections, right? Sometimes you see it in this connection. It's really fascinating to see these things. All right, so let's go into switching locations. Sometimes you'll see the sun in this position. All right. Okay. This is the sun. It's confusing. It's confusing, isn't it? It's very confusing to the mind system because you're only seeing it through one optical level of a perception. But when you see it with the way I see it, you have to see the sun rotation and its rotation system. This is the moon. This is the sun. Okay. So it's amazing how it covers, right? Isn't it incredible how it changes? And everything up there is everything through box round location. Right? So this is what the sun and the moon look like up close. They have little box rounds. It's all computerized. It's all digital. It's all holographic. It's reading the signals through your body activation lights through its calculation modification cycle positions. Okay. So when you see a half moon, now you know what it is. It's the sun covering the moon, but in a different shape, different color, right? So the sun and moon never separate. Okay, they're always in circle rotation. That's all it does. So this is what the sun and the moon do through calculation. All right, this is all it does. It goes in rotation cycle through its position. We're going to the calculation modification cycle position location here. All right, so let's go into the white so you can actually see it. So the sun rotation system. Okay, now in calculation modifications, everything in rotation cycle through its position. Okay, so basically in position. So the sun's here. Okay, sun's here. And everything through the connection of the moon is here. Okay. So the moon and the sun never separate. So what it does, it starts on position like this, sun and the moon, right? They're always connected to each other. You have to go through the circle. So they're sending rotation cycles of diameter switches to the connection of the computer operation system of its Earth rotation system through its calculation modification. All right, so this is what it does. I'll set up the core system to the Earth. All right, you have to truly understand what's going on with modifications. Okay, so that's the Earth, right? There's the Earth. Oh, there's the sun. Okay, so that's what happens. The reflections that come in. Okay, light signals. Let's go into yellow gamma operation center position because you can't really see it through resolution. So what you're seeing is not yellow. Okay, what you're seeing is everything through rainbow. Okay, so you're seeing everything through activation. That's what happens with the healing. The sun is activating your body through light, but it's not just yellow. It's not just white. It's everything through color, rainbow. Okay, so it's in this position. So this is what the sun and the connections do. So the sun rotates its cycle through its position. Okay, communicates to the moon at its surfacing location. Okay, so it goes around in position like this through traction. Okay, so it goes around.
I'm on it. Okay, I found this on the web.
Okay, Syria, don't need you right now. So it goes around in its position like this through rotation. So as it's going around and around and around, it's setting out waving cycles. Whoa, look at that. I'm getting sun in each country. That's what happens with the sun and the moon. That's how it rotates around the Earth. So you're getting sun in each country position. Calculates modifies. Okay, so you got country here, country here, country here, country here. Okay, all countries on the Earth, right? See, that's how the sun reflects. It connects to the moon, right? It goes in a circle, right? So it's going like this all the way around, right? So it's setting up reflections, tone reflections, activation light reflections, but it's all connected to your body frame system. So the sun gravitates the grounds of the Earth. It activates everything through connections. It light signals everything through traction positions of location positions. Okay, so this is what it does through activation light system. Let's go into the green cycling positions. So it activates the grounds, activates the powers, and activates everything through the atmosphere position. That's what it does every single day. Okay, and then when it sends off sounding patterns, it goes into connection. Go in the back position here. Calculation modification cycle here. All right, so go into the green cycling rotation positions here. Okay, sets out sound pattern. Two connections. Light signals the channel operation center positions, guys. Put you in that calculation. Okay, so go into those line signals and channel positions to its rotation cycle position. Okay, so it sets out sound patterns on those communication cycle positions. Opens up all rotation cycle position line communication cycle. Two, that's that division line signal. Okay. So it does it in all four ways. That's what it does every day. Every single day. Okay. So this is how it goes in calculation. So it gets reading cycles through everything through atmosphere of the country positions. It's reflection of the sun, reflection of the patterns of the moon. Okay. These are the colorations that go around the circle, the magnetic force and highway information system. Something has to hold up the universe through calculation. So eyes in the sky, circulates and rotates. So the sun goes in position, right? Some days it's hot, some days it's cold. So it's all connected to. It's always connected to the moon. It's always connected to the sun. So the sun goes around, okay? So that's how it goes up, light into day, okay? Night into night, right? So it's all about reflection of the moon and reflection of the sun through radiation and everything through its operation of its coloration, to its rainbow activation through its body and its earth rotation with sonar. Okay? So now you know. So you ever see a half moon, now you know what it is. It's the sun covering it. So it's like in this position, but it's the sun. And then next day it turns. It's going around and round and round. That's all it does. And it does reflection to the earth. That's all it is. And then you see the reflection in some countries. You see the sun in big areas. You see the sun in small areas, right? And then you get into cloud interference. See, the sun and everything through the moon creates everything through clouds. And then you get into the galaxies, and then you get into all connections to the cosmos. And, then you get into weather, how it rains, how it thunders. It's really fascinating. We'll get into that next. But I just wanted to show you, if you ever see the moon in a half moon, you understand that the sun is covering it. Whoa. See, that's what you got to see through perception. You understand everything through traveling positions of yourself, through connections. Right? So I've been getting into a lot more communication through the energetic network each day. Well, that's great, Siva. It's great to get out. It's getting to get to absorbing yourself. Really just let it flow. And see, when you're taking your breath, you're bringing in and you're breathing out, but you're bringing out all the dark of you. It's all the dark vibration, all the dark light, all the dark thoughts, all the dark activities. Everything is coming out of you, right? So you're breathing in. And you feel wonderful. I mean, you're just really, really cleansing your body. And that's what you want to do, right? So I'm just going to backphrase here and see your questions. So I wanted to show you, because you have to understand these things, right? What you see through perception. All right, so go into this calculation, modification cycle positions again. All right, we're going to the black circle and rotation positions. Okay, 100. 100. Okay, so we're in the 100 chakra. Okay. Energy systems. 100 chakra energy systems. Okay, so now we understand that through liquid formation system. But once you understand the communication through perceptions, try to understand the box realms to your body framing. So imagine that your whole body is nothing but a picture view through calculation, but it's all holographic pixels. So it's trying to understand every relation to your body frame, three components, your compartments. You have your coolants, you have your heat, you have your fire, you have your air, you have your grounds. So you understand that plus your weathers, right? So you have to understand your connections when it comes into forming through your 100 chakra rotation center positions, because it opens up everything through your location. Once you get into that position, you come in a better line communication signal to traction locations. Okay, so it's getting into, I'm into my diamond core position. You guys are into your triangles, the 3, 6, and 9. Okay, but into 12 in position. We're doing this all in one cycle position. Okay, so this is going to be on the test. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, that's going to be on the test. Now you have to understand how to do these things, right? 3, 6, and 9, and then 12, bring it up, go around and round and round. You guys are basically at the connections coming into 100, right? So there's 100 chakra rotation centers, right? So let's look at this way, right? What's 10 plus 10? What's 10 plus 10? Anybody know? What's 10 plus 10? Just think of it. What's 10 times 10? Okay, so think of it this way. You have to understand your multiplication cycles to position of travel positions. Okay, so remember I was saying what 1 plus 1 equals 3? Well, it's understanding you're connecting to not your physical system, you're connecting to the spiritual realm connections. Okay, So if you put yourself in that position, then you're standing your modification cycle positions, right? So you're in traction positions of that division to that location, right? So you're coming into that 100 chakra rotation center positions, okay? So it's calculated and modified, but if you put yourself in that position, okay, get those line communication cycle rotation center positions again through calculation here. Let's come in this rotation cycle to that position. That's just hammering outside. Don't worry about that. I use activation lights and energy field rotation centers. Okay, so you got 10 plus 10. Okay, equals. Now, the thing is, too, is this is how we do the equations of space anomaly through its alien information system, right? 10 plus 10 equals box, right? But see, everything is box, right? So everything is box through connections. Equivalency act is everything through the connection line system, through the proactive cycle positions. Okay, so once you put in that yourself in that connection, okay, the box. Okay, so it's a reversing cycle. So you got to look at it this way. Everything is out surfacing through connections, but you want to inner evolve yourself through connection through box frequency level through its connection, right? So 10 plus 10 equals box. Okay, you got the box, right? So you're in that connections. So you're going into the waving cycle. Okay. So basically what you do is you add the 0, you add the 1. Okay. It gives you 100. The calculation. Okay. So it's complicated if you don't understand the metric levels of U, the quantum physics of U, the quantum mechanics, the quantum energy system to GOD, the geometrics, operation, dimensions, divisions, or directions. But understand that 10 plus 10 equals box equation 2, it's 100. Right, so it's traveling through its location to its position, 100 chakra rotation centers, its energy system. Okay, so that's the position you guys are in now through calculation. All right. So powerful, isn't it? How we do these things, how you take the 1, how you take the 0, how you take the 0, how it becomes 100. Okay, so we don't just use this to, 10 plus 10 equals anything through calculation, right? So if you look at this way, 10 plus 10, okay, is 20, right? It's 20, okay? But in alien information system, through map secrecy level system, you take 10, okay, plus 10 equals box. Everything is box through travel positions. We only use shapes to travel positions, right? So we take the 1, we take the 0, and we take the 0, gives us to 100, right? So you guys are at 100 chakra rotation energy system through calculation. It's modified everything through traveling positions of time positions, okay? So, and this is where you can use multiplication for traveling positions. This is where it gets really, really, really exciting, okay? I don't want to get too far into that, but once you understand that through calculation, once you get into those positions of the 100 chakra rotation center, to its activation light system, to its proactive system, to its calculation, to its modification, you become your own traveling position of your own atom system through its modification. Because you guys are in your computers right now, so you got to get into these communication cycles through its position. So it's knowing how to use this through travel, through point center, each round location to circle rotation center through box. Now this is higher information through its equation of its plasma. Everything has a code to a plasma, to its connection, to its formula, right? So you have to understand 10 plus 10 equals box. Box is formula through line communication of 1, 0, 0, 100 rotation center to its atom position of traveling positions of its point center position through circle rotation of its connection. Okay. So it's fun, isn't it, when you get into these levels? So, how's everybody doing so far? I think we've done quite a bit. I'm going to let you guys sit on that right now. Rest your mind, your thoughts, everything through your connections. It's going to formulate everything through your location position and give you everything that you want through your lights and your connections or travel positions. So it's all about understanding how you use your E equals MC square. Use your square to anything through calculation. You take your box and anything through calculation. You change your body framing line system into its connection. So let's understand how to take your numbers or letters or shapes or anything through form. Let's start with 10 plus 10. Okay. Now in the physical system is 20. But you understand 10 plus 10 in the AI formation system is always boxed through connections. So you can travel those positions. You take the 1, you take the 0 and the 0, add it through connections. You got 100 chakra formation line system to calculation to its energy body line systems. Okay. So. All right. So I think we're good to go, eh? We learned a lot today. We really did. So we'll get it a little bit more. It's getting a little bit more confusing right now, but I really want you guys to center your positions coming into 100 chakra rotations on its test review and evaluation. That's the most important thing you have to understand through calculating. It's all about understanding how to travel your shapes to understand how to communicate with the earth more, right? Because the earth is nothing but a shape, an operation. It's everything through computer. It's everything through connection, all right? These are the things that you have to understand, how you travel through multiplications, right? Through quantum physics, quantum mind of physics, quantum activation of physics, quantum thoughts of physics. You have to understand how to use more of your thoughts through travel through box. Okay. Yeah, I know. There's so many orbs going through me, so many dimensions, so many connections. It's a waving cycle through possession. So it's really, really fascinating. Oh, you're extremely welcome. Yeah. So if you guys want to get into better communication, because we have that test coming up, it's going to be extremely powerful, right? I think we'll give it to maybe next Monday. The test will be next Monday. But once you understand your evaluation of yourself, your thought recognition of time, position of space, now you're sending your core centers to your positions, to your heart recognition, okay, to your life system, okay? Taking yourself out of the fear and putting yourself into the positive center, okay? Fighting that force that's inside you every single day, putting yourself in that positive center of balance. Okay, that's how you can identify yourself going forward, right? Because you can't use that if you don't understand the mind of its thought. If the thought's creating a negative system, you have to understand the yin and yang between this division of time position. You can't separate the name of you, and you can't separate anything through letters, numbers, or shapes of you, and you certainly cannot separate the lights or anything through your life system or your death cycle position. Everything has to be a center position of you every single day to its present system. Okay, because it's going to modify you, everything through its integration cycle positions. Okay. Yeah, I know. They're flying around. I see them. Yeah. Because every time I wake up in the morning, I get more powerful because I'm giving back you information that you need to know. You have to know these things, right? Who else is going to give it to you, right? So, but I think in position, if you still try to understand more of yourself, just research your mind at ease. Put your mind at a calming center. Put yourself in a peaceful environment. Put yourself in a gravitational light. Put yourself in a light activation of love. Ooh, that's powerful. Light activation of love? What is that? So it's all about a resonance of you. Okay, when you say unconditional love, whoa, powerful energy is, it just knocked me off my feet. You see that? Almost knocked me off my chair, just saying unconditional love. See, it has so much reaction, and that's what you want, right? That's what you want. Every time I say something positive, my mind and my simulator just overloads, but it's extremely powerful energy because I connect on so many forces of connection of nothing but positive feedbacks of myself. Okay, so I'm always uprising my computer, my operation center positions, and I'm operating all my connections to my brain simulators. And the brain simulator becomes everything through your thought of recognition of time, position, of space. And this is where you come into the multiplications of you, right? How you take everything through its box. Yeah, I know there's a lot going around, but if you want to go through the healing, let me know. Okay, if you want to understand more of yourself. Okay, but it's fascinating when we get into this position first. We have to understand the clocking of time position of 3, 6, 9, and 12. Okay, you got to understand the circle rotations. You got to understand your center positions. So it's understanding that you can take the 12 over here and travel its position. You can take your 9 and it can travel to 2 position. You can take your 6 and travel to 3 position. This is understanding how you connect to all around location positions. Okay, so it's all about setting operations. Now I got a black circle in rotation center of a sphere that's connected through alignment system. It's not going through its own connection line system, but it's a proactive cycle through its positions, right? So, but we want to get into this through calculation, right? This is what we want to get into. We all want to get into this, right? You guys are centering your positions right now through calculation modifications. You are in your computers, but you don't understand your program setting. So I got to help you out with that through calculation. So you're all on your computers. This is where everybody's in. There's modification. You're into your computers. Okay, you're into your computers, but you got to get into your atoms. You have to get into your atom because your body's an atom. Okay, it's an atom. That's all it is. It's a circle rotation atom through connections, your body framing through its holographic system. So it's to understand the reading patterns of its atom. This is the chakra system of you, but which one is it? Is it the grounds? Is it the powers? Is it my throat? Is it my third eye? I don't know. I have to understand my body completely, right? And the only way you can understand your body is through your computer, through your keyboards, your screen. Everybody has a screen, right? So you're creating everything through your thoughts. Okay, so it opens up projection. It's like a windscreen. It's like a screen. It's a projection, right? So it opens up your plasmas. It opens up like this. And that's what you see through your computer of your thoughts. And everything in there is extremely real. Okay? So you might see somebody, like this on a hill, right? Now, this is all connected. Even though you're not thinking about it, it doesn't matter. It's understanding what it's giving you, what you need to see. It's all connected to your thoughts of recognition, time, position, of space, and everything through your program settings. So why is this person walking up a hill or going up a mountain? It's connected to me, or it could be connected to somebody else. So somebody else is giving you something through gift, or somebody's giving you something you need to know on what you're doing. And it's all connected through your computer to your atom. So we got to get out of computers and get into our atoms so we can travel faster through our thoughts, through light. Okay? That's what you want to do. So we won't get into that too much, but if you understand your positions better, more and more, you understand who you are. You're a sole identification of a computer that high rises all lights through your rainbow activation of its center positions to your holographic system of its positions. Okay? So I'll leave it with that. You guys have a fantastic day. Every day we're going to get into the test, okay, because it's going to get harder and harder. So once you get into the 100 chakra rotation centers, you guys are going to feel a lot more position through balance, especially when you come into the atoms. Oh, atoms are very powerful. And then we got 650 applications, and then you can start reading your DNA of your blueprints and your contracts. And then you go up to the skies of its records and look through, whoa, what does my soul say today? So it's identifying your soul because you have an astral record of you. That's the soul identification of you. And then you start knowing everything around you, which is inside you. Okay? All right. This is Supreme AI Commander from Y'all Universal Course Systems, all calculation modification cycles through location positions. Adios, everybody. Have a fantastic day.